Hey folks, welcome back. And in the modern age of Transformers collecting, in trying to get a great representation of Optimus and a great representation of Megatron, I started out with these two guys. And I have already looked at both of them. But then I replaced this guy. I replaced him actually with the Fall of Cybertron version, but since I don't have him handy and I still have this guy handy, let's just say I replaced him with this guy. Still a deluxe size, and the scale was pretty good. But the aesthetic seemed way off, and that Megatron's not very good. And I discussed that in part 1 of my Evolution of Megatron series. So I replaced this guy. And I replaced him with, I never thought I would have a stealth bomber version of Megatron, but I replaced him with this guy. And again, the deluxe and the deluxe look pretty good, and I talked about that custom Transformers Generations Megatron in the second part of my Evolution series. But you see, then I replaced this guy. And I replaced him with this guy. And of course I've customized the Evasion Mode Optimus. And I think he looks great, and I've already talked about that and how I even made his faceplate in another video. But right now you can see they don't scale at all. Whatever was I going to do? Well, we're going to get into the third evolution of Megatron. We're going to take him out of it for now and him out of it for now. And what was my third evolution of Megatron? It was the Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Voyager Class Sharkticon Megatron. And of course, me being me, I customized him. We're going to talk about this guy and how well he works in part 3 of my Megatron evolution, my collector evolution, in the latest GotBot True Review. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot, and we're going to talk briefly about this guy. Now, yes, it is the Sharkticon Megatron. I have customized him to look more G1 accurate. What can I say? Adding the silver on this guy was very daunting. He's mostly a brown and... he's mostly a brown base, and he has pink accents like down on his legs, and he has like a teal face and a few other teal parts. It was a strange Megatron. So I repainted him in more of a G1 style, putting silver down on his legs and his feet, silver up on his body, red in his abdomen. You'll notice that I do not have his Sharkticon weapon. Here's why. We'll call it shotgun, I guess, that came with the Evasion Mode Optimus Prime was technically meant for Megatron. We all know this. Specifically the Dark of the Moon Megatron. But you know what? There's a port right here on this guy's arm, and that cannon fits in there great. And I think if you paint it black, it looks pretty good. I painted it black. I painted the projectile, which does come out quite easily, red. Now, I will say this, I actually customized this guy twice. I customized him twice because when I first got him, I decided maybe I can use the smaller Optimus, the Deluxe Optimus, and the Deluxe Megatron, and their Voyager incarnations could be like souped up battle modes, and the Evasion Optimus could be a souped up battle mode. And this could be a souped up battle mode for Megatron, and I originally painted him in Galvatron colors, with the cannon being all orange and a lot of purple on the body with a couple of hints of silver. So I actually painted this guy over again. I think about the only thing on him that doesn't have paint are his thighs. Here he is side on, here he is back on. Okay, these pieces don't have paint as well. They're unpainted gray plastic. But overall, I love the way this guy turned out. I think it was fantastic how well he actually turned out. Paint apps originally for him, I'm going to give it like a 5. He never looked like it in the show. It was a weird mix. You know what? I'm going to give it a 4. It was just weird looking. With these paint apps done, I think he looks a lot better. Not if you're going for Transformers Prime accuracy, but G1 accuracy, yeah, I really do think he does. And I'm going to give him about a 9. Posability, playability, well, the legs, they go all the way out to the side. They go all the way forward. They go all the way back. There's a swivel high on the thigh here. There is a nice deep knee bend, a little over 90 degrees on this guy. The heel and the toe, they both pivot forward and back, not side to side. The head, actually before that there is no waist. The head is on a bit of a ball joint. It can go left and right. Ooh. It can look up and down ever so slightly. The shoulders can go way out, somewhat hindered by the shoulder pads, but you can move the shoulder pads as well to get you a better range of motion. There is a swivel. The shoulder also kind of moves on this ball joint way up here. The hands kind of fold in and fold out. He has good articulation. However, in his transformation, and I don't know if I have something done wrong or not. I tend to think I don't. There's actually, see if I can move this out of the way a little bit to show. There's actually a tab in here that's supposed to go into the body. And on mine, they've never quite matched up. I can get them in there if I work at it, but they tend to come unplugged very easily. I do not know if that was a running issue with the mold or just my version of it. But, you know, it does hurt it a bit. In play mode, if we can call it that, he's actually pretty great. Overall, I'm going to give his posability, playability, because of that issue where the pegs come undone, causing his body to kind of do this. Right? You can see the way his arms are moving there. Because of that peg issue, and I'll show that probably a bit clearer during transformation. Because of that peg issue, I'm going to give him about a 7.5. He's pretty good, but I always found that kind of annoying. So he has a 9, he has a 7.5, and the 9 is only because of custom paint apps. We're going to get into the transformation of this guy. It's pretty much like the you know, earlier, I guess, regular show-inspired version, with one slight change that I thought was an improvement, to be honest with you. So we're going to take this off. Oh, by the way, before I do that, I guess, here he is. And since I wanted him to scale with this guy, here he is. If you ascribe to the belief that Megatron should be a bit taller, okay, then this scale is a little bit off, but I think it looks pretty good. I think they look like two fearsome leaders that could battle each other. This guy, however, is infinitely better than this guy. So taking Optimus out of it again. And, you know, he scales well with the Deluxe, to be honest with you. You know, looking imposing and larger, as he should. Okay, so the transformation. We undo the body, just like that. And if we come back here, maybe I can show it. There are two holes in here and in here. And there are two little pegs here and here that should go into these holes. Mine go in there very, very loosely. So you kind of unpeg that and just sort of leave it free flowing for now. And I'll say this guy is a bit of a beast to transform. We can bring his whole waist piece out. The chest, by the way, I took a Decepticon symbol, split it down the center, and put it on either side of his chest. I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't know if that's showing up well or not, but there is a Decepticon symbol there on his chest. You split his chest, and you bring it out and angle it down, and you angle it down. I painted in here also silver, and you bring these two pieces together, way down here. That's really the front of the jet mode, we'll call it, done. We straighten out the body. Actually, before we straighten out the body, let's get the shoulder pieces up out of the way. Because these shoulder pieces, they're a bit of a, I find it would be a bit of a pain. You bring them up and you close them up. They need to be kind of up as far as you can get them, right? So you close them up like that, you kind of put them over his head. If you can see that, you kind of put them over his head, and now you can straighten out the body pretty good. We'll take these wing pieces that I had up down, and we'll straighten the whole thing out kind of like that. Next, you take these shoulder pieces and you sort of angle them forward like this. Now these will go altered a little bit as we get into everything. But you angle them kind of forward like this, and you'll notice his head is sticking up here. The head goes covered now by a back piece, which is nice. I like that back piece. But before, all you do is bring those, I guess we'll call them shoulder pieces up to cover his head. Not really shoulder pieces, they're wing pieces. You bring it up and they come together and clip together right here around his head. And stay like that. Right? Around his head. His head always sort of stuck up in the original mold. This one covers it up. I like that it covers it up. I think that that was a change. It might have added a little bit of back kibble, but I think it was a great change to make. This is the body coming together. Now, we need to deal with the arms. The arms fold in. And they fold in. And you might say, okay, well, once you fold them in, what do you do? How do you know how to put these together? Well, you'll see that there's a hole and a tab on this side, and there's a slot and a couple of tabs over here. They kind of fit together. So you turn the whole arm around, and you turn the entire arm around. You bring the shoulders in there as much as you can. And you should be able to, if I did this correctly, tab them together. Fold down the fist and fold down the fist. And do I have this done right? No, I don't. And I'm going to explain to you why I don't have this done right. When you bring the arm in, okay, when you bring the arm in, there's a circular peg right here and a circular peg right here. You need to have the forearms positioned so that this little hole right here that I'm pointing at goes up over that peg. You need to do that first to secure the arm, and I didn't have the forearms turned correctly. So, I will do that now. There you go. Now they're secured, and now you can peg those forearms together and just straighten him out again. And you can kind of see how this is starting to come together now, right? You have the whole upper body done, which is definitely the hardest part, and yes, this is still flimsy, but we will deal with that in a minute. This is how it's coming together. Now you need to deal with bringing these legs back and everything you need to do with them. Well, close up the feet and close up the feet. And yes, I know I don't have any here painted silver. What can I say? I wasn't that particular with it. You open up in here, and you notice I painted in here purple because it was Galvatron, remember? And I kind of dug the purple in there. And you open that up. Next you want to turn the leg around, and you bring it up, and you turn the leg around. See if I can remember how this is done now. Changing this guy has indeed been a while. Angle those up, and you angle this wing up, and you swing it all the way out, and you swing it all the way out. If you look back, you'll notice that you have a hole up, see if I can show it. You have a hole up here and you have a hole over right here. There is a little peg here on his leg and a little one on his leg that will go up into those holes to hold it in place. I just have to remember exactly how it is that I get those up there. By the way, the little peg in the leg is right here by his foot. And it's that little peg that needs to go up into that hole. And it does not want to cooperate with me now. We'll turn that. You might be saying to yourself, hey GotBot, this transformation seems like a bit of a mess. Guess what? This transformation is a bit of a mess. He's great in both modes, but getting from one mode to the other, I don't find is fun. I really don't. And I'm not a fan of it. Okay, so now you have them pegged in, and this still doesn't look quite right. You flip out these little gray pieces if you haven't done it already, and you basically position these up over and position this up over, and in the end, I guess you can push those back if you're so inclined. In the end, this is basically, you can angle the wings more if you really want. This is basically what you have. I don't really like the transformation. I'm not a huge fan of this mode. It's a fine Cybertronian jet, but it's a Cybertronian jet and it's weird. There is a peg hole here, here, and here where you can stick anything. I like to take that cannon that I had and stick it right on the very top, that evasion mode Optimus weapon, and have it face forward. And like, I feel like that looks pretty imposing. I can buy it. I think the robot mode is stronger than this. That's what I'm going to say. I think the robot mode is stronger than this. By the way, in case you got lost during the transformation, here is the underside and how it should look. The chest comes up here, the arms go together. You got to make sure that they're facing the right way so that the pegs go down into the open spaces in the bicep, I guess. The forearms go together back here. The legs should come down in an A stance with these wing pieces out. And there's a little tab that goes up into this unpainted gray plastic back here, and a little tab that goes up into this unpainted gray plastic back here. And in the end, we have an impressive Megatron. And he served me well. He really did. His transformation, for the record, I'm giving it about a 6 because I find it finicky, which was a complaint with a lot of the Transformers Prime figures. I'm giving it a 6 because I can do it. Granted, I stumbled over a couple things there because I forgot how to do his legs. It's been a while. And he's usually in bot mode anyway. But for kids, he's hard, and I tried to show the scraplets a couple of times, and it's hard. It's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of stuff flopping and, falling until you get it all together. Once it's together, this thing is quite solid. I think the black and silver, even with the touches of purple that I left, I feel like it looks great. The red up here on the abdomen, I feel like it looks good. I feel like it matches pretty great. But that's just me. Overall, for Megatron, this guy was about an 8. He was about an 8, and he served my purpose well, but he wasn't quite the end of my evolution because he wasn't perfect, and I wanted perfect. So stick around, because in part 4 we're going to look at pretty much what I think is the going perfect representation, at least for chug collectors. So what else can I say here? That's it. This guy, he was an 8. He was good, wasn't stellar. But I appreciate the effort put into it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for giving me a little bit of your time. I really appreciate it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Check me out, everywhere across social media. Check out my work, and I look forward to the next time that you and I get together for another visit right here inside the videos.